Improve Your Life. How to Build a Life You Love, written by Justin Tracy, published by Simple Audiobooks. Introduction. Improving your life is a journey that begins with a profound realization. The power to create a better future lies entirely within your control. This book's introduction delves deeply into the core principles that shape personal transformation, inviting readers to embark on a journey of self-discovery, responsibility, and intentional growth. It begins with the essential truth that external factors, be they circumstances, relationships, or opportunities, are secondary to the inner framework of your thoughts, beliefs, and decisions. Life does not happen to you. It responds to the energy, focus, and effort you bring to it. Recognizing this puts you in the driver's seat, dismantling excuses and the victim mentality that often hold people back from achieving their full potential. The introduction emphasizes that self-awareness is the foundation of improvement, guiding you to assess your current state honestly and identify areas that require change. This self-assessment isn't about guilt or shame, but about taking a compassionate yet firm inventory of your habits, attitudes, and patterns. By understanding your starting point, you can craft a vision for the life you want to live and reverse engineer the steps to get there. The book argues that clarity of purpose is non-negotiable. Without it, you risk drifting aimlessly, tethered to short-term distractions and other people's expectations. Responsibility is another cornerstone, and the introduction highlights its transformative power. Taking responsibility means acknowledging that while you may not control every situation, you always control your response. This shift in mindset liberates you from helplessness and empowers you to take action. Even in the face of challenges, the introduction provides examples of how adopting this attitude has fueled success for countless individuals who, despite adversity, chose to persevere, learn, and grow. The book's introduction also challenges readers to confront their fears and limiting beliefs, which are often the silent saboteurs of progress. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, and fear of change can paralyze even the most ambitious person. By understanding that failure is not an endpoint, but a necessary step in growth, readers are encouraged to reframe setbacks as opportunities for learning. The narrative emphasizes that overcoming these fears requires deliberate action, courage, and a willingness to endure discomfort. It is in these moments of discomfort that true growth happens. Discipline and consistency take center stage as the book dismantles the myth of overnight success. Real improvement is not about grand gestures, but about the small, consistent actions you take daily. The introduction paints a vivid picture of how building strong habits, whether it's waking up early, managing your time effectively, or investing in your health and relationships, compounds over time to create extraordinary results. It encourages readers to stop chasing motivation, which is fleeting, and instead rely on systems and routines that carry them forward even on the toughest days. The introduction also explores the role of mindset, emphasizing that how you think determines what you achieve. A mindset rooted in gratitude, abundance, and possibility opens doors that a scarcity or victim mindset slams shut. Readers are encouraged to audit their thoughts and replace negativity with constructive beliefs that align with their goals. This mental shift has a ripple effect, influencing behavior, relationships, and ultimately, outcomes. Finally, the introduction serves as a rallying cry to embrace silence and introspection in a world that often glorifies noise and busyness. It underscores the power of solitude as a tool for clarity and self-discovery, allowing readers to connect with their deeper desires and intuition. The book suggests that by tuning out distractions and prioritizing inner peace, readers can access a flow state where progress feels natural and aligned. By the end of the introduction, readers are left with an undeniable truth. Improving your life is not a passive process or a one-time event. It is a lifelong commitment to growth, resilience, and purpose. The introduction inspires and challenges readers to take ownership of their journey, equipping them with the belief that no matter where they start, they have the potential to build a life they are proud of. Chapter 1. Taking ownership of your life. Chapter 1 takes an exhaustive and transformative dive into the concept of taking ownership of your life, presenting it as the single most important step toward achieving real and lasting change. It begins with the core premise that you are the primary architect of your existence. And until you embrace this truth, progress will remain elusive. Ownership means fully accepting that your life's circumstances, while influenced by external factors, are ultimately the result of your choices, responses, and mindset. It challenges the deeply ingrained habit of assigning blame whether to society, family, circumstances, or luck, arguing that doing so only perpetuates feelings of helplessness and creates a mental prison where growth becomes impossible. This chapter invites readers to step out of this prison by understanding that ownership is not about self-condemnation or ignoring external realities, but about acknowledging your capacity to influence outcomes, even in the face of adversity. The narrative explores how taking ownership requires a radical transformation in perspective, where you shift from a passive participant to an active creator in your life. It emphasizes that every decision, no matter how small, contributes to the trajectory of your life. For example, choosing how you spend your time, the thoughts you allow to dominate your mind, and the habits you repeat daily are all acts of ownership or the lack thereof. The chapter vividly illustrates the ripple effect of these decisions, showing how even the smallest choices, when compounded over time, can lead to either extraordinary progress or quiet despair. The chapter challenges readers to confront their excuses and stories, the narratives they tell themselves to justify inaction or failure. These excuses often stem from fear, insecurity, or a desire for comfort, and the book explains how they become self-fulfilling prophecies. By exposing these patterns, readers are urged to replace them with empowering beliefs and actions that align with their goals. Ownership also means facing failures without self-pity, understanding that mistakes are inevitable, but that your response to them determines whether you grow or regress. The chapter stresses that failure is not the opposite of success, but a stepping stone toward it, as long as you take responsibility for learning and adapting. Practical strategies for embracing ownership interwoven throughout the chapter, offering actionable steps to make this mindset shift. These include setting clear, actionable goals that align with your values and priorities, reflecting on your daily habits and eliminating those that do not serve your growth, and creating an environment that supports success by removing toxic influences, whether people, situations, or even mental clutter. It discusses the importance of self-reflection as a tool for accountability, encouraging readers to regularly evaluate their progress and adjust their course as needed. This process, while uncomfortable, is framed as essential for breaking free from stagnation and stepping into a life of purpose. The chapter also explores the emotional aspect of ownership, explaining that it requires confronting the discomfort of vulnerability. Accepting responsibility means you can no longer hide behind excuses or place the burden of your happiness and success on others. This vulnerability, however, is presented as a source of strength, as it allows you to connect with your true self and take intentional, aligned actions. The book provides vivid examples of individuals who transform their lives by embracing ownership, illustrating that this principle is universal and applies regardless of circumstances or starting points. By the end of this chapter, readers are left with a clear understanding that ownership is not just a mindset, but a practice, a commitment to taking consistent, purposeful actions every day. It reframes control as a gift, not a burden, showing that even in situations where external factors seem overwhelming, you're in a world your thoughts, choices, and perspective remains entirely within your grasp. This chapter lays a solid foundation for the rest of the book, making it abundantly clear that without ownership, no amount of external advice, strategies, or tools will lead to meaningful change. It empowers readers to stop waiting for a savior, perfect timing, or ideal circumstances, and instead take immediate action to reclaim their lives, one decision at a time. Chapter 2. Breaking the chains of limiting beliefs. Chapter 2 takes a deep dive into one of the most powerful forces that hold people back from achieving their fullest potential: limiting beliefs. These beliefs, often deeply ingrained from childhood, past experiences, or cultural conditioning, are thought patterns that shape how you perceive yourself and the world around you. They create invisible chains that bind you to a restricted reality, often convincing you that you are incapable, unworthy, or destined for failure. The chapter begins by explaining that these beliefs are not absolute truths, but learned perceptions that can be changed, and it challenges readers to confront the idea that they are victims of these beliefs. It stresses that many people live their lives without ever questioning these internalized beliefs, unknowingly allowing them to dictate their choices, behaviors, and outcomes. For example, if you were raised in an environment where failure was heavily stigmatized, you might develop a belief that making mistakes is something to avoid at all costs, which leads to perfectionism and an inability to take risks. Similarly, societal messages about success, wealth, or relationships might lead you to believe that certain achievements are out of your reach simply because they don't fit the mold you've been conditioned to accept. The chapter then delves into how these limiting beliefs manifest in everyday life, often showing up as self-doubt, fear of failure, imposter syndrome, and an underlying sense of inadequacy. These beliefs can cause you to shy away from opportunities, stay in unfulfilling situations, or settle for less than what you're capable of achieving. The book explains how these mental chains keep you stuck in a cycle of inaction, preventing you from pursuing your true potential. The chapter challenges the reader to step outside of their comfort zone and recognize that many of these beliefs were never your own to begin with. They were imposed by others or shaped by past experiences, but they do not define who you are or what you can accomplish. One of the first steps in breaking free from these chains is becoming aware of them. The book emphasizes that the first task is to recognize the beliefs that are holding you back. This often requires deep introspection and honesty, as many of these beliefs operate beneath the surface of conscious awareness. For instance, you might have a belief that you are not smart enough to start a business, or that you will never be able to achieve financial success. But these beliefs may have been planted in you by others' opinions or your own past failures. Identifying these negative thought patterns is critical because once you are aware of them, you can begin to challenge their validity. The chapter encourages readers to ask themselves, where did this belief come from? And is it really true? It challenges the assumption that these beliefs are facts, instead promoting the idea that they are simply perceptions often based on outdated information or past experiences that no longer serve you. The next step in dismantling limiting beliefs is reframing them. This means taking those beliefs and actively shifting your perspective to something more empowering. For example, instead of thinking, "I'm not good enough," you might reframe it to, "I am capable of learning and growing with every experience." The chapter provides a variety of tools to help with this reframing process, including visualization techniques, affirmations, and journaling exercises, all of which are designed to replace limiting beliefs with more positive, productive ones. It explains that the power of reframing lies in repetition. By consistently practicing these new thought patterns, you start to rewire your brain and change the neural pathways that support your old, limiting beliefs. Building new habits is also a key focus of this chapter. It explains that simply reframing beliefs isn't enough to create lasting change. To truly break free from limiting beliefs, you must also replace old, disempowering habits with new ones that support your growth and align with your true potential. The book encourages readers to cultivate habits that nurture their self-confidence, such as setting small, achievable goals, celebrating victories, and surrounding themselves with supportive people. It also discusses the importance of perseverance and consistency in this process, explaining that changing long-held beliefs is not an overnight task, but rather a gradual evolution that requires patience and dedication. In addition to these practical steps, the chapter addresses the emotional aspect of breaking free from limiting beliefs. It explains that confronting and challenging your beliefs can bring up feelings of discomfort, fear, or resistance, especially when you're questioning long-held notions about yourself. However, the chapter stresses that this emotional discomfort is part of the growth process and should be embraced, not avoided. It encourages readers to view this discomfort as a sign that they are breaking free from old patterns and expanding their capacity to succeed. The book also emphasizes the importance of creating a positive, supportive environment to reinforce this process. Surrounding yourself with people who uplift and encourage you, rather than those who reinforce your doubts and insecurities, is crucial for fostering the growth of empowering beliefs. The chapter suggests finding mentors, peers, or communities that share your vision and can provide positive reinforcement along the way. Additionally, it highlights the importance of self-compassion, reminding readers that this process of belief transformation is a journey, not a destination, and that it's normal to encounter setbacks along the way. Being kind to yourself, forgiving past mistakes, and allowing yourself to grow at your own pace are all vital components of breaking free from limiting beliefs. Ultimately, this chapter teaches readers that the key to breaking free from limiting beliefs is recognizing that they are not immutable truths, but are, in fact, choices. You have the power to change your thought patterns, reframe your beliefs, and replace them with new, empowering ones that align with your highest potential. The chapter empowers readers by showing them that their beliefs are not the final word on their capabilities. It instills the idea that with determination, self-awareness, and the right tools, anyone can break the chains of limiting beliefs and step into a life that is free of self-imposed boundaries. By embracing this process, readers are given the roadmap to transform their thinking, their habits, and ultimately, their lives. Chapter 3. Building Unshakable Confidence. Chapter 3 dives deep into the transformative process of building unshakable confidence, asserting that confidence is not an innate trait, but rather something that can be developed and reinforced through intentional effort, self-awareness, and a willingness to take action. It challenges the common misconception that confidence is something you either have or don't, explaining instead that it's a skill that can be honed over time. The chapter begins by acknowledging the common barriers to confidence, such as self-doubt, fear of failure, negative past experiences, and the weight of societal judgment. It makes the case that these external forces, while real, should not dictate your sense of self-worth or limit your potential. Instead, the chapter argues that true, lasting confidence comes from a deeper, internal source, the unwavering belief in your own abilities, regardless of your circumstances or how others perceive you. A key concept in the chapter is that confidence grows through action. The book emphasizes that waiting for confidence to magically appear or for the perfect moment to act is a trap that many people fall into. The truth, it asserts, is that confidence is cultivated by doing, by stepping out of your comfort zone, and by taking consistent, bold actions even when you feel uncertain or fearful. This is where the chapter outlines a practical approach. Start small. The book encourages readers to take manageable, incremental steps toward their goals, each of which, once accomplished, serves to reinforce the belief that they are capable. As these small successes build over time, they generate momentum and create a strong foundation upon which greater challenges can be tackled. Each action, regardless of the scale, provides evidence that you can handle what comes your way, thus solidifying your confidence. The chapter also tackles the crucial role that self-talk plays in the development of confidence. It explains that the way you speak to yourself is a reflection of how you view your own potential. Negative self-talk, such as "I'm not good enough" or "I can't do this," not only undermines your self-esteem, but also perpetuates feelings of doubt and fear. The book offers a solution in the form of positive affirmations and empowering language. It suggests replacing critical thoughts with supportive, growth-oriented statements, such as "I am capable of overcoming challenges," or "I have the skills needed to succeed." Over time, this shift in language reprograms your mind, transforming self-doubt into self-assurance and reinforcing the idea that you can trust yourself to navigate any situation with competence and grace. This change in mindset is reinforced by the power of visualization techniques, which encourage readers to mentally rehearse successful outcomes and imagine themselves succeeding in their endeavors. This practice not only builds confidence, but also prepares the subconscious mind to act in alignment with those positive beliefs. Another critical element of the chapter is the idea of using past successes, regardless of how small they may seem, as evidence of your abilities. The book stresses that many people dismiss their own achievements, often because they view them as insignificant or unremarkable. However, the chapter argues that every success, no matter how small, is proof that you have the capability to take action, face challenges, and achieve your goals. The book encourages readers to reflect on these successes regularly, acknowledging them as milestones that demonstrate their competence and resilience. By doing so, readers can shift their focus from what they lack and what they fear to what they have already accomplished, fostering a sense of pride and ownership in their progress. Mistakes and setbacks are also addressed in this chapter as critical components of building unshakable confidence. The book encourages readers to reframe their thinking around failure, emphasizing that mistakes are not evidence of inadequacy, but opportunities for growth. When you embrace failure as a natural part of the learning process, rather than something to be feared or avoided, you free yourself from the crippling effect of perfectionism. The narrative stresses that true confidence is not the absence of fear or failure, but the ability to move forward despite them. Each failure is an opportunity to refine your approach, develop resilience, and become more resourceful. In this way, setbacks are seen as valuable stepping stones that propel you toward greater success, rather than as roadblocks that undermine your self-worth. Body language is another powerful aspect explored in the chapter. It highlights how adopting confident postures and behaviors can not only influence how others perceive you, but can also have a profound impact on your own mindset. The book encourages readers to stand tall, make eye contact, and speak with clarity and conviction, even when they don't feel confident. Research has shown that adopting a power stance, such as standing with shoulders back and chest open, can physically alter the brain's chemistry, increasing feelings of confidence and reducing stress. By practicing confident body language, you send signals to your brain that reinforce the belief that you are capable and in control. Over time, this becomes an automatic response, reinforcing your growing confidence in all areas of life. Additionally, the chapter explores how confidence is not just about individual success, but also about how you interact with others. It encourages readers to develop the confidence to communicate openly, assertively, and with authenticity, fostering healthy relationships and self-respect. The book stresses that unshakable confidence is not about arrogance or superiority, but rather about knowing your worth and respecting both yourself and others. It promotes the idea that when you value yourself, others are more likely to value you, and this mutual respect builds a foundation for deeper connections and greater opportunities. In building unshakable confidence, the chapter also acknowledges the importance of consistency. Confidence is not something that is achieved overnight, but is the result of daily practices and choices that reaffirm your belief in yourself. The book advises readers to set clear, actionable goals and to hold themselves accountable for taking the necessary steps each day. It encourages readers to embrace discipline and perseverance, understanding that the path to confidence requires ongoing effort and dedication. With each step taken toward their goals, readers are reminded that they are building a resilient, confident self that can face any challenge with courage and poise. Lastly, the chapter emphasizes that confidence is a personal journey, one that is unique to each individual. It invites readers to embrace their authenticity and stop comparing themselves to others. By focusing on your own growth and progress, rather than external standards or comparisons, you can develop a sense of confidence that is deeply rooted in your own values and vision. This individualized approach ensures that your confidence is genuine and unshakable, because it comes from a place of self-acceptance, resilience, and a commitment to your own potential. The chapter ultimately leaves readers with the understanding that confidence is a practice, a muscle that, when exercised consistently, grows stronger over time, empowering them to face any challenge with the belief that they are more than capable of achieving their dreams. Chapter 4. Mastering Your Habits. Chapter 4 goes into extensive detail on how mastering your habits can be the key to unlocking your fullest potential and achieving lasting success. It starts by explaining the profound influence habits have on every aspect of your life. Habits are not just the daily actions you take, but the foundation of your identity, shaping not only your external achievements but your internal state, including your mindset, emotions, and overall well-being. The chapter emphasizes that your habits, whether good or bad, determine the course of your life. The small, seemingly insignificant actions you take every day have a compounding effect over time, either propelling you toward your goals or dragging you further away from them. It stresses the idea that without mastering your habits, you will continue to operate on autopilot, allowing your subconscious programming to dictate your behavior and outcomes. One of the central themes of the chapter is that change begins with awareness. To master your habits, you must first become aware of the habits you currently have and how they are impacting your life. Many people go through life without ever questioning their daily routines or how they contribute to their success or failure. This lack of awareness is often the root cause of feeling stuck or unfulfilled. The chapter encourages readers to perform a thorough inventory of their habits, identifying the ones that are serving their long-term goals and the ones that are undermining them. This process requires honesty and self-reflection, as it's easy to overlook habits that have become deeply ingrained or to dismiss their negative impact. Once awareness is established, the chapter emphasizes the importance of small, incremental changes. The key to mastering habits is not to overwhelm yourself by trying to change everything at once, but to focus on making small, consistent improvements over time. The book explains that habits are formed through repetition, which creates neural pathways in the brain that become automatic with enough practice. Therefore, the chapter suggests focusing on one habit at a time and committing to it consistently. This gradual approach helps build momentum and reinforces the new habit, making it easier to integrate into your daily life. The book also advises using the concept of habit stacking, where you attach a new habit to an existing one. For example, if you already have a morning coffee routine, you might stack the habit of drinking a glass of water or practicing a short mindfulness exercise right after it. This helps make the new habit feel like a natural extension of what you already do. The chapter further emphasizes that mastering habits is not about perfection, it's about progress. It acknowledges that setbacks are inevitable and encourages readers to approach their habit-building journey with self-compassion. Rather than beating yourself up when you slip up or miss a day, the chapter advises seeing these moments as opportunities to learn and adjust. It explains that perfectionism often leads to burnout, whereas embracing the process of gradual improvement ensures that you stay motivated and focused on long-term success. By adopting a mindset of progress over perfection, you begin to view challenges as part of the growth process, rather than obstacles that derail your efforts. Another crucial element discussed is the role of environment in shaping your habits. The book stresses that your surroundings significantly influence your behavior, often in ways you may not be aware of. For example, if you want to build a habit of exercising in the morning, but your gym is far away, and you keep unhealthy snacks in your kitchen, your environment may be making it harder for you to succeed. The chapter suggests modifying your environment to support your desired habits. This might include eliminating distractions, organizing your space in a way that makes healthy choices more convenient, or surrounding yourself with people who encourage your growth. It explains that the more you align your environment with your goals, the easier it becomes to implement and maintain positive habits. In addition to environmental changes, the chapter discusses the importance of accountability. It explains that having a system of accountability can significantly increase your chances of success in building and maintaining new habits. This could be as simple as tracking your progress in a journal or using an app to monitor your daily actions. The chapter suggests that sharing your goals with someone else, whether a friend, mentor, or coach, can also provide additional support and motivation. Knowing that someone else is aware of your progress makes it harder to let excuses get in the way of your commitment. The chapter stresses that accountability is not about external pressure, but rather about creating a system that helps you stay true to your intentions. The book also highlights the role of mindset in mastering habits. It introduces the concept of the growth mindset, which is the belief that your abilities and habits can be developed through dedication and effort. This mindset is crucial because it fosters resilience and perseverance, two qualities that are necessary for overcoming the inevitable challenges that come with building new habits. The chapter explains that adopting a growth mindset allows you to see mistakes and setbacks not as signs of failure, but as opportunities to refine your approach and learn from the experience. This mindset shift is essential for long-term success, as it helps you stay motivated even when the process feels slow or difficult. Building habits, the chapter emphasizes, requires patience and consistency. It stresses that habits don't form overnight, and often the results of your efforts won't be immediately visible. The chapter offers practical tips for staying consistent, such as setting reminders, establishing routines, and visualizing the long-term benefits of the habit. It also advises celebrating small victories along the way, acknowledging that every step forward, no matter how small, is an important part of the journey. These celebrations serve as positive reinforcement, helping to maintain motivation and encourage further action. Additionally, the chapter provides insights into how to break free from negative habits. It explains that replacing unhealthy or unproductive habits requires conscious effort, as the brain is wired to seek comfort and familiarity. The key to breaking a bad habit, the book explains, is to replace it with a more positive, productive behavior. For example, instead of simply telling yourself not to procrastinate, the chapter suggests substituting procrastination with a habit like prioritizing tasks or breaking projects into smaller, more manageable pieces. This strategy helps reduce the mental friction associated with the habit you're trying to break, while providing a healthier alternative. The chapter concludes by reinforcing the idea that mastering habits is not an all-or-nothing endeavor. Success is not determined by your ability to maintain perfect consistency, but by your willingness to continue moving forward, even when progress is slow or you experience setbacks. It encourages readers to take ownership of their habits, knowing that they are the architects of their own routines. By creating positive habits and eliminating those that no longer serve you, you take control of your life's trajectory, laying the groundwork for lasting success and fulfillment. Ultimately, the chapter teaches that mastering your habits is one of the most powerful ways to create meaningful and lasting change in your life. Through deliberate practice, self-awareness, and persistence, you can transform your habits into a powerful force that propels you toward your goals. Chapter 5. The Power of a Growth Mindset. Chapter 5 offers a comprehensive exploration of the growth mindset, a concept that fundamentally changes the way you approach challenges, learning, and personal development. At the heart of the chapter is the distinction between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. The fixed mindset, as described, is characterized by the belief that your qualities, such as intelligence, talent, and abilities, are innate and unchangeable. Those with this mindset often feel that success or failure is determined by their inherent qualities, leading them to avoid challenges and give up easily when faced with setbacks. This mindset can also create a fear of failure, as individuals with a fixed mindset may believe that mistakes reflect a lack of ability rather than an opportunity for growth. On the other hand, the growth mindset is rooted in the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through consistent effort, learning, and perseverance. It encourages individuals to embrace challenges, view mistakes as valuable lessons, and persist in the face of obstacles, knowing that effort and hard work are the keys to improvement and mastery. The chapter emphasizes that adopting a growth mindset requires a fundamental shift in how you view yourself and the world around you. This shift moves away from seeing your abilities as static traits and instead embraces the idea that you can always grow and improve. A crucial part of this transformation involves redefining failure. Instead of seeing failure as a personal flaw, individuals with a growth mindset view it as an integral part of the learning process. Failure becomes a stepping stone, not an endpoint, and is seen as valuable feedback that informs future growth. The chapter stresses that developing a growth mindset is not about eliminating fear or failure altogether, but about how you respond to those experiences. While those with a fixed mindset may shrink from challenges, fearing the consequences of failure, those with a growth mindset embrace challenges and are motivated by the belief that they can improve over time. The concept of resilience is strongly tied to a growth mindset. The chapter explains that individuals with a growth mindset are more likely to be resilient because they are more focused on effort and learning than on avoiding mistakes. Resilience, in this context, is not just the ability to bounce back from failure, but the ability to keep pushing forward despite setbacks. The chapter highlights that people with a growth mindset understand that challenges and failures are inevitable, but are more likely to view these as temporary obstacles that can be overcome with persistence, learning, and adaptation. This attitude fosters mental toughness and a proactive approach to obstacles. For instance, when faced with a challenge or failure, someone with a growth mindset might reflect on what went wrong, what can be learned, and how they can approach the situation differently next time. This proactive and reflective approach leads to continuous improvement and deeper learning. In addition to fostering resilience, the chapter demonstrates how a growth mindset enhances overall well-being. It touches on how adopting this mindset positively influences emotional health by reducing anxiety, stress, and feelings of inadequacy. Individuals with a growth mindset are more likely to experience a sense of control over their lives and their personal development. They understand that with effort, persistence, and patience, they can overcome obstacles and reach their goals. This sense of empowerment reduces the paralyzing fear of failure that often holds people back and encourages them to take risks, step outside their comfort zones, and pursue their passions. The chapter links this empowerment to greater life satisfaction, explaining that people who adopt a growth mindset are more likely to find fulfillment in their personal and professional lives because they continuously strive for improvement and enjoy the process of learning. A significant portion of the chapter addresses how a growth mindset influences achievement in various areas of life, including academics, career, and relationships. In the academic realm, for example, students with a growth mindset are more likely to persist through difficult subjects, embrace challenges, and view effort as a pathway to success. They are less likely to be discouraged by setbacks or failures on exams, and are more inclined to seek out help, study harder, and refine their approach. Similarly, in a career context, individuals with a growth mindset tend to be more adaptable and open to feedback, using constructive criticism to fuel their professional development rather than taking it personally. The chapter highlights that those with a growth mindset understand that mastery and success in any field require continuous learning and adaptation. This mindset drives individuals to seek new opportunities for growth, whether through further education, skill development, or collaboration with others. The chapter also highlights how a growth mindset positively impacts personal relationships. It explains that people with a growth mindset approach challenges in relationships with patience and understanding. They view conflicts as opportunities to learn more about themselves and their partners, rather than as signs of incompatibility or failure. By being open to feedback and willing to make adjustments in their behavior, individuals with a growth mindset are more likely to cultivate strong, healthy relationships. They understand that growth in relationships, like in any other area of life, requires effort, communication, and a willingness to learn and adapt. In addition to the psychological and relational benefits, the chapter offers practical strategies for developing a growth mindset. It provides specific examples of how to reframe negative thoughts and self-limiting beliefs. For instance, instead of thinking, "I'm not good at this," individuals with a growth mindset learn to reframe it as, "I'm not good at this yet." The chapter also suggests focusing on learning goals rather than performance goals. Instead of setting goals based solely on external success, such as getting a promotion or receiving high grades, individuals are encouraged to set goals based on the process of growth and improvement, such as developing new skills, gaining experience, or mastering a new challenge. This shift from a performance-driven mindset to a learning-driven mindset encourages intrinsic motivation, which is more sustainable and fulfilling in the long term. The book also advises surrounding yourself with people who share a growth-oriented perspective and can provide encouragement, feedback, and support as you work to develop new skills. The chapter also delves into the importance of self-compassion in the growth mindset process. It emphasizes that adopting a growth mindset doesn't mean being overly critical of yourself when you make mistakes or encounter setbacks. Instead, it means treating yourself with kindness, patience, and understanding when you make a mistake, instead of chastising yourself or letting shame take over. A growth mindset encourages you to view the mistake an opportunity to learn and grow. Self-compassion helps to reduce the fear of failure, which is often a major obstacle for those with a fixed mindset. By being kind to yourself and treating failure as a natural part of the learning process, you free yourself to take risks, explore new opportunities, and continue pushing forward, knowing that growth is a continuous journey rather than a final destination. The chapter concludes by stressing that developing a growth mindset is a lifelong process. It is not something that can be achieved overnight, but rather something that requires ongoing effort, reflection, and practice. The chapter encourages readers to embrace challenges, keep learning, and celebrate progress along the way. It reminds readers that adopting a growth mindset is not just about achieving specific outcomes or successes, but about developing a deeper love of learning, a greater sense of resilience, and an unshakable belief in the power of effort and perseverance. By adopting this mindset, individuals can unlock their potential and continue to grow and evolve throughout their lives, overcoming any obstacle in their path. Ultimately, the chapter teaches that the power of a growth mindset lies in its ability to transform not just what you achieve, but how you approach life itself, turning every challenge into an opportunity for growth, and every setback into a stepping stone on the path to success. Chapter 6: The Art of Effective Goal Setting. Chapter 6 provides an in-depth exploration of the art of effective goal setting, emphasizing that achieving any form of success requires a strategic and intentional approach to defining and pursuing goals. The chapter begins by establishing the foundational importance of goals, explaining that they serve as the blueprint for success, offering direction, focus, and purpose. It asserts that without clear goals, individuals tend to drift aimlessly, lacking the motivation and drive necessary to achieve anything significant. In this light, goal setting becomes not just a technique, but an essential skill that enables you to create a vision for your life and work toward that vision with determination and clarity. The chapter encourages readers to view goals not as abstract concepts, but as concrete, actionable steps that bridge the gap between their current reality and the life they aspire to create. This is where the concept of SMART goals comes into play, a powerful framework for setting effective goals that can be tracked, measured, and achieved. The chapter explains each element of the SMART acronym in detail, starting with the need for goals to be specific. Goals that are vague or overly broad, such as "I want to be successful" or "I want to be healthier," can leave individuals feeling uncertain about where to begin or how to measure progress. Instead, the chapter advocates for setting goals that clearly define the outcome and the actions required to achieve it, such as "I will lose 10 pounds in the next 3 months by exercising 3 times a week and eating a balanced diet." The specificity of this goal makes it easier to break it down into actionable steps and measure success along the way. The chapter then moves on to explain the importance of making goals measurable. Without a measurable component, it's difficult to gauge progress or determine whether the goal has been achieved. It emphasizes that measurable goals allow individuals to track their efforts and adjust strategies if needed. The book provides practical examples of how to quantify different types of goals, whether they relate to personal health, career advancement, or financial growth. For example, a goal to improve fitness could be measured by tracking the number of workouts completed per week, the amount of weight lifted, or the time it takes to complete a particular distance running. This measurable aspect not only provides a clear sense of progress, but also reinforces motivation as milestones are achieved. In addition to being specific and measurable, the chapter highlights the importance of setting goals that are achievable, emphasizing that unrealistic or overly ambitious goals can lead to frustration and burnout. It encourages readers to assess their current capabilities and resources before setting goals, ensuring that they are challenging yet within reach. Setting achievable goals requires being honest with yourself about where you are currently and how much effort it will take to reach the next level. The chapter explains that when goals are set too high without considering one's limitations, the likelihood of success diminishes, which can lead to discouragement and a sense of defeat. Therefore, setting realistic goals is a delicate balance between ambition and practicality. Relevance is another crucial component discussed in the chapter. It stresses that goals must align with one's values, long-term vision, and overall life purpose. A goal that is not personally meaningful or relevant may lack the emotional connection needed to maintain motivation. For example, if someone sets a career goal that doesn't align with their true passions or values, they may struggle to stay committed to it. The chapter advises readers to evaluate whether each goal truly supports their broader life vision and encourages them to prioritize goals that will have the most significant impact on their happiness and fulfillment. The relevance of a goal also extends to its ability to integrate with other life objectives, as setting a goal that conflicts with other important aspects of life, such as relationships, health, or personal growth, can lead to internal tension and burnout. Therefore, the chapter encourages a holistic approach to goal setting, where each goal complements the others and contributes to a balanced, fulfilling life. The chapter then explores the final component of SMART goals, time-bound. Setting a clear timeline for achieving a goal is essential for creating urgency and motivation. Without a deadline, goals can become abstract and indefinitely postponed, leading to procrastination and lack of progress. The chapter explains that time-bound goals are particularly effective because they force individuals to take consistent action and stay focused. By setting a realistic yet firm deadline, people are more likely to take their goals seriously and avoid delaying necessary actions. The book stresses that timelines should be challenging but achievable, encouraging readers to set deadlines that push them to work harder while avoiding unnecessary pressure. Additionally, the chapter advises readers to break down long-term goals into smaller, short-term goals, which helps keep them on track and allows for regular assessments of progress. For example, a long-term financial goal of saving $20,000 within the next 2 years can be broken down into monthly and weekly savings targets, making the goal feel more manageable and providing clear benchmarks along the way. In addition to the SMART framework, the chapter delves into the psychological aspect of goal setting, explaining that goal setting is not just about external achievement, but also about developing the mindset, habits, and discipline needed to reach those goals. The chapter stresses that goals require consistency and commitment, and that perseverance is essential for overcoming obstacles and staying motivated throughout the journey. It explores the importance of cultivating habits that support your goals, such as waking up early to work on your personal projects, exercising regularly, or setting aside time for self-reflection and growth. These daily habits, though small, add up over time and play a significant role in achieving larger goals. The chapter also touches on the importance of accountability, and how sharing your goals with others can help create a support system that encourages progress. Whether it's through a mentor, a coach, or a trusted friend, having someone to hold you accountable increases the likelihood of success, as it provides external motivation and helps you stay focused on the path to achievement. The chapter also emphasizes that goal setting is not a one-time event, but a continuous process that requires regular review and adjustment. Life is unpredictable, and circumstances can change, requiring flexibility in your approach to achieving your goals. The book encourages readers to reassess their goals periodically, making necessary adjustments to ensure that they remain aligned with their values and long-term vision. This adaptability is crucial in maintaining momentum, as it allows individuals to adjust to new challenges and opportunities without feeling discouraged or overwhelmed. The chapter suggests keeping a journal or progress tracker to document achievements, reflect on setbacks, and analyze what's working and what's not. By reviewing and revising goals as needed, individuals can stay on course while adapting to the evolving circumstances of their lives. Furthermore, the chapter stresses the importance of celebrating progress, no matter how small. It explains that acknowledging small victories along the way boosts morale, reinforces positive behavior, and increases motivation. Each step forward should be recognized as an achievement, as it adds up over time and propels you closer to your larger objectives. The chapter also discusses the power of visualization, recommending that readers regularly visualize the successful achievement of their goals. This mental imagery helps reinforce commitment and creates a positive association with the process of goal setting and achievement. Visualization, paired with positive affirmations and regular self-reflection, strengthens your belief in your ability to achieve your goals and keeps you focused on the desired outcome. The chapter concludes by reinforcing the idea that goal setting is both an art and a science, requiring a blend of thoughtful planning, disciplined action, and adaptability. It highlights that effective goal setting is not just about the final result, but about cultivating the mindset, habits, and resilience needed to pursue those goals. Through a combination of SMART goals, time management, accountability, and continuous reflection, anyone can increase their chances of success and create a clear path toward achieving their dreams. Ultimately, the chapter teaches that goal setting is a dynamic process that empowers individuals to take control of their future, navigate challenges with confidence, and live with greater purpose and intention. Chapter 7. Silence is Power. Chapter 7 explores the transformative and often overlooked power of silence, demonstrating how it is a tool for self-discovery, emotional growth, and inner peace. The chapter begins by explaining that in today's fast-paced, noisy world, silence is a rarity, and many people struggle to experience true quiet. The constant barrage of information, notifications, and conversations can overwhelm the mind and prevent individuals from connecting with their deepest thoughts and emotions. Silence, however, is not simply the absence of noise. It's a powerful space where clarity, understanding, and self-reflection can flourish. The chapter encourages readers to recognize that silence is an opportunity for stillness, where they can retreat from the external noise of life to reconnect with their inner world. It explains that through intentional moments of silence, individuals can create a mental space that allows for greater focus, emotional regulation, and mindfulness. The chapter discusses how silence can foster clarity by giving individuals the time and space to process complex emotions, decisions, and experiences. In the absence of external distractions, the mind can sort through conflicting thoughts, analyze situations with greater objectivity, and arrive at clearer, more balanced conclusions. This clarity is essential for making informed choices, whether in personal relationships, professional settings, or day-to-day life. Silence allows individuals to step back from immediate reactions and take a broader perspective on their circumstances, which is crucial for managing stress, finding solutions, and setting meaningful goals. The chapter emphasizes that in the midst of a noisy, chaotic world, finding silence is an act of reclaiming mental sovereignty and regaining control over one's thoughts. Furthermore, the chapter illustrates how silence is deeply connected to emotional growth and resilience. It teaches that when individuals are constantly exposed to external stimuli and social interactions, it can be difficult to understand and manage their emotions. Silence offers the space to process feelings, heal emotional wounds, and gain a deeper understanding of one's emotional landscape. The chapter suggests that in quiet moments, individuals can confront unresolved feelings, allowing them to release pent-up emotions and cultivate emotional intelligence. By embracing silence, people can also develop the ability to regulate their emotions more effectively, enabling them to remain calm and composed even in challenging or high-stress situations. Rather than reacting impulsively or emotionally, silence creates the opportunity to pause, reflect, and respond more thoughtfully, leading to better emotional control and fewer regrets. The chapter also emphasizes the role of silence in improving decision-making. In a world full of noise, individuals often make hasty decisions based on external pressures, immediate desires, or knee-jerk reactions. Silence, however, provides a refuge from these influences, allowing people to tap into their intuition, inner wisdom, and long-term values. The chapter argues that making decisions in silence encourages reflection and deliberation, helping individuals to consider all possible outcomes and weigh the pros and cons before taking action. By practicing silence, individuals can make more informed, confident, and aligned decisions that are in harmony with their true selves and life goals. Silence is also framed as a tool for enhancing creativity and problem-solving. The chapter explains that when the mind is constantly stimulated by noise, distractions, and information overload, it becomes difficult to access creative insights or innovative solutions. Silence, however, provides the mental space needed for creative ideas to emerge. It allows individuals to break free from rigid thought patterns and approach problems with fresh perspectives. The chapter highlights that many of the most successful creative breakthroughs, whether in art, science, or business, have been born in moments of quiet reflection, where individuals could let their minds wander and explore new possibilities. The ability to quiet the mind is essential for creativity, as it opens the door to new ideas and solutions that might not otherwise surface in the noise of everyday life. In addition to fostering creativity, silence plays a crucial role in improving communication, particularly in relationships. The chapter emphasizes that effective communication is not just about speaking, but also about listening. Silence creates space for active listening, where individuals can truly hear and understand others' perspectives, feelings, and needs. By practicing silence in conversations, individuals can cultivate deeper empathy and strengthen their relationships. The chapter explains that silence allows for more thoughtful, intentional communication, where responses are more deliberate and less influenced by reactive emotions or distractions. In this way, silence can improve the quality of interactions, foster mutual respect, and deepen connections with others. The chapter also explores the spiritual dimension of silence, showing how it can facilitate a deeper connection with one's inner self or a higher power. Silence, as the chapter describes, is often used in meditation, prayer, or contemplation to quiet the mind and cultivate a sense of peace, connection, and spiritual alignment. In these moments of silence, individuals can access a sense of presence and awareness that transcends the noise and demands of daily life. The chapter encourages readers to embrace silence as a spiritual practice, allowing them to connect with their inner wisdom, intuition, and purpose. Silence is depicted as a powerful tool for cultivating a sense of inner peace and spiritual fulfillment, helping individuals to find balance and serenity in an otherwise chaotic world. The chapter also discusses how silence can be a form of personal empowerment. In a world that often values constant activity, noise, and external validation, embracing silence can feel like an act of rebellion, a way of asserting one's own space and boundaries. Silence allows individuals to detach from the external pressures of society, family, and peers, giving them the freedom to think for themselves and prioritize their own needs and desires. The chapter highlights that by embracing silence, individuals can cultivate a sense of independence and self-reliance, as it enables them to listen to their inner voice and trust their instincts. This self-empowerment through silence helps individuals feel more confident in their decisions, actions, and overall direction in life. Additionally, the chapter explains how silence can contribute to mental health and well-being. In a world filled with constant stimulation and stress, silence serves as a much-needed antidote to mental fatigue and overwhelm. Taking time for silence helps individuals to unwind, relax, and recharge, which is essential for maintaining good mental health. The chapter suggests that incorporating regular periods of silence into one's routine can lower stress levels, reduce anxiety, and improve focus and concentration. Whether through meditation, nature walks, or simply sitting in solitude, silence provides a much-needed opportunity for the mind to rest and rejuvenate, ultimately contributing to improved well-being and mental clarity. The chapter concludes by emphasizing that silence is not a passive or empty state, but an active and powerful practice that can lead to profound transformation. It encourages readers to embrace silence as a tool for self-awareness, emotional control, creativity, decision-making, and spiritual connection. By integrating more silence into their lives, individuals can tap into their inner power, achieve greater clarity, and cultivate a sense of peace and balance amidst the noise of the world. Ultimately, the chapter teaches that silence is not merely the absence of sound, but a transformative force that empowers individuals to reconnect with themselves, make better decisions, and live with greater intention and purpose. Chapter 8. Overcoming the Fear of Failure. Chapter 8 takes a comprehensive and deep dive into the fear of failure, breaking down how it manifests in individuals and its impact on personal growth, success, and fulfillment. It starts by acknowledging that fear of failure is a universal human experience, rooted in our evolutionary psychology. Our ancestors, who experienced failure in dangerous situations, were conditioned to avoid it because it threatened survival. However, in the modern world, this primal instinct, while protective in nature, has become a major roadblock that prevents individuals from stepping outside their comfort zones and taking the risks necessary for success. The chapter explains that in contemporary society, fear of failure is not just about avoiding physical danger, but manifests in more subtle ways, like avoiding challenges, procrastination, perfectionism, and an overall resistance to change. The chapter emphasizes that this fear often paralyzes people into inaction, leading them to miss out on opportunities that could lead to growth and success. It also introduces the concept of failure paralysis, a state where the fear of failing becomes so overwhelming that it stops individuals from even trying, keeping them stuck in a cycle of self-doubt and indecision. The chapter then addresses the pervasive negative self-talk and self-criticism that often accompany the fear of failure. It explains how individuals who are afraid of failing tend to internalize failure as a personal flaw or proof of inadequacy, creating a damaging narrative that diminishes their self-esteem and belief in their abilities. This distorted perception of failure as something inherently negative is discussed as a significant barrier to progress. The chapter argues that such thinking leads to an unhealthy focus on perfectionism, where people feel that anything less than flawless performance is unacceptable. It explains that perfectionism is fueled by an exaggerated fear of failure and often causes individuals to procrastinate or avoid tasks altogether. The chapter encourages readers to break free from this mindset by realizing that failure is not a reflection of one's abilities or value, but simply a result of taking risks and learning from the process. It stresses that failure is not a reflection of who you are, but an experience that provides valuable insights for improvement. Furthermore, the chapter highlights the societal pressure that amplifies the fear of failure. Many individuals feel the weight of others' expectations, whether from family, peers, or the larger community, leading to a sense of shame or embarrassment around failing. Society often equates success with worth, creating an environment where failure is stigmatized and feared. The chapter calls attention to how this social conditioning perpetuates a culture where people are reluctant to fail because they fear judgment and rejection. By internalizing these societal views, individuals become more concerned with avoiding failure for the sake of their image than with the actual process of personal growth and achievement. The chapter encourages readers to detach their self-worth from external validation and instead focus on their intrinsic value and progress. It emphasizes that failure does not make anyone less worthy or less capable. Rather, it is a part of the journey toward mastery and success. The chapter also delves into the psychological concept of fixed mindset versus growth mindset, which plays a crucial role in how individuals perceive and respond to failure. Those with a fixed mindset believe that their abilities, intelligence, and talents are predetermined and unchangeable. As a result, they avoid challenges, fear failure, and view setbacks as evidence of their limitations. In contrast, individuals with a growth mindset see their abilities as malleable and believe that with effort, learning, and persistence, they can improve and overcome obstacles. The chapter emphasizes that cultivating a growth mindset is key to overcoming the fear of failure. By viewing failure as a natural part of the learning process, individuals with a growth mindset are more likely to take on challenges, embrace mistakes as opportunities to learn, and ultimately build resilience. The chapter provides practical strategies for shifting from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, such as focusing on the effort and process rather than the end result, celebrating progress and small wins, and reframing failures as valuable learning experiences rather than defeats. In addition, the chapter addresses the importance of reframing failure by changing the narrative surrounding it. It suggests that instead of seeing failure as a final outcome, it should be viewed as feedback. Failure, when approached from this perspective, becomes a powerful tool for self-improvement. The chapter emphasizes that every failure holds a lesson that can help individuals refine their approach, learn new skills, and ultimately grow stronger and wiser. It introduces the idea of failing forward, a concept that encourages individuals to embrace their mistakes and use them as stepping stones for progress. The chapter also provides examples of successful people who failed multiple times before achieving success, demonstrating that failure is often a necessary precursor to greatness. By reframing failure as a stepping stone rather than an obstacle, individuals can reduce their fear of failure and develop a more resilient mindset. The chapter also offers practical tips for overcoming the fear of failure by taking action despite the anxiety and uncertainty. One of the key strategies discussed is the idea of breaking down large, intimidating goals into smaller, more manageable tasks. The chapter explains that the fear of failure often arises when individuals are overwhelmed by the magnitude of a goal, leading them to procrastinate or avoid taking any action at all. By breaking goals down into smaller, actionable steps, individuals can reduce their anxiety and make progress without feeling paralyzed by the fear of failure. The chapter stresses that success is built on consistent, small steps, and that even incremental progress is still progress. Another strategy discussed is the importance of focusing on the process rather than the outcome. The chapter encourages readers to shift their attention from the fear of the final result to the satisfaction of taking action and improving along the way. By detaching from the need for immediate success and embracing the journey, individuals can reduce the pressure and anxiety associated with failure. Another important aspect the chapter explores is the role of resilience in overcoming the fear of failure. It emphasizes that resilience is not about avoiding failure, but about developing the ability to bounce back from setbacks and continue moving forward. The chapter discusses how resilience is a skill that can be cultivated over time through practice, patience, and perseverance. By embracing failure as a learning experience and refusing to give up, individuals can build the mental and emotional strength needed to keep going despite obstacles. The chapter encourages readers to develop a positive relationship with failure, viewing it not as an end, but as a temporary setback that can be overcome with effort and determination. The chapter also addresses the role of self-compassion in overcoming the fear of failure. It stresses that individuals often struggle with failure because they are overly critical of themselves and unwilling to show kindness when things go wrong. The chapter encourages readers to treat themselves with the same compassion and understanding that they would offer to a close friend who is struggling. By practicing self-compassion, individuals can reduce the self-blame and shame that often accompany failure, and instead approach setbacks with a sense of patience and forgiveness. This shift in mindset allows individuals to be more forgiving of their mistakes and more willing to take risks without the paralyzing fear of failure. Finally, the chapter concludes by reinforcing the idea that failure is an inevitable and essential part of life. It urges readers to embrace failure not as something to be feared or avoided, but as a necessary step in the pursuit of success. The chapter encourages readers to reframe their relationship with failure, viewing it not as a reflection of their inadequacy, but as a catalyst for growth and learning. By overcoming the fear of failure, individuals can unlock their full potential, take bold risks, and achieve the success they desire, knowing that failure is simply a part of the process and not the end of the road. Ultimately, the chapter teaches that the fear of failure is not something to be conquered, but something to be understood, reframed, and integrated into the journey of personal and professional growth. Conclusion. The conclusion of the book deeply reflects on the powerful and transformative journey that the reader has undertaken throughout the text, reinforcing the central message that true improvement and success are the results of continuous growth, self-reflection, and embracing life's challenges. It reaffirms that everyone has the capacity to create change in their lives, regardless of their past experiences, fears, or limitations. The book reminds readers that the act of taking ownership of their lives, of choosing how to respond to circumstances, controlling their mindset, and making intentional decisions, is the foundation for lasting transformation. It emphasizes that while external events and situations are often beyond one's control, how individuals react to those events is what defines their life experience. The book calls on readers to recognize that they are not passive recipients of life's circumstances, but active participants in shaping their reality. By taking full responsibility for their thoughts, emotions, and actions, they can break free from the cycles of self-doubt, fear, and negativity that have held them back in the past. The conclusion further underscores the idea that personal development is not a destination, but a lifelong journey. It highlights the importance of consistency, self-awareness, and a willingness to evolve as critical components of sustained growth. Success and fulfillment are not achieved by avoiding failure or hardship, but by learning from them and using those experiences to build resilience and strength. The book stresses that setbacks are an inevitable part of life and should be viewed not as signs of defeat, but as necessary steps in the process of growth. By reframing failure as an opportunity for improvement, individuals can change their relationship with it, turning what might once have been a source of fear into a powerful catalyst for personal development. The chapter also emphasizes the importance of cultivating a mindset that is open to learning and willing to embrace new opportunities. It stresses that individuals should not shy away from challenges, but approach them with curiosity and a sense of adventure, recognizing that each challenge presents a chance to develop new skills, expand knowledge, and deepen understanding. The book encourages readers to take risks and step out of their comfort zones, as this is where real growth happens. It acknowledges that growth can be uncomfortable, but that discomfort is often a sign that one is pushing boundaries and breaking through limitations. The conclusion calls on individuals to embrace this discomfort as a necessary and valuable part of the process of reaching their highest potential. The book also underscores the significance of mastering habits and mindset, noting that these two elements are the bedrock upon which lasting success is built. By developing positive habits, whether related to health, productivity, self-care, or mindset, individuals can set themselves up for long-term success. The book emphasizes that habits are not formed overnight, and the process of habit formation requires patience, consistency, and the commitment to personal growth. Similarly, the development of a strong, growth-oriented mindset is essential in overcoming the challenges that life presents. The chapter encourages readers to cultivate mental toughness and resilience, reminding them that the ability to adapt and keep going, even in the face of adversity, is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who give up. Moreover, the conclusion stresses the importance of setting clear, actionable goals and pursuing them with purpose and dedication. It argues that goals give direction and focus, and by breaking larger goals into smaller, manageable steps, individuals can maintain a sense of progress and accomplishment. It emphasizes that goal setting is not just about the end result, but about enjoying the process of growth and achievement along the way. The book encourages readers to regularly reassess their goals and adjust their plans as needed, understanding that the journey towards their dreams may not be linear and may require flexibility and perseverance. The conclusion also stresses the value of silence and self-reflection in the process of improvement. The book reminds readers that in the rush of daily life, it is easy to lose sight of one's deeper desires and values. By carving out moments of quiet, whether through meditation, reflection, or simply pausing to breathe, individuals can reconnect with their inner selves, gain clarity on their priorities, and make more thoughtful decisions. This practice of silence also allows individuals to evaluate their progress, identify areas where they may need to make adjustments, and recalibrate their efforts toward their goals. Furthermore, the chapter encourages readers to adopt a sense of self-compassion and patience as they pursue their personal development. It acknowledges that the journey toward improvement is not without its difficulties, and individuals will face moments of doubt, frustration, and setbacks. However, it stresses that self-criticism and perfectionism will only hinder progress. Instead, readers are encouraged to treat themselves with kindness, understanding that mistakes and failures are natural and necessary aspects of growth. Self-compassion fosters a mindset where individuals can forgive themselves for their missteps, learn from them, and move forward with renewed confidence. The book also reinforces the idea that success is deeply personal and should not be measured by society's standards or by comparing oneself to others. It calls on readers to define success for themselves, based on their own values, passions, and dreams. Success is not a one-size-fits-all concept, and it is essential for individuals to stay true to their unique paths, regardless of external pressures or societal expectations. The chapter encourages readers to focus on their own journey and not get distracted by the accomplishments or setbacks of others, as comparison can often lead to feelings of inadequacy or discouragement. Lastly, the conclusion urges readers to take action immediately, recognizing that there is no better time to start than now. The book stresses that waiting for the perfect moment or the ideal circumstances often leads to procrastination and missed opportunities. The key to transformation is consistent, purposeful action, even if the steps are small at first. The chapter concludes by motivating readers to embrace the principles and strategies laid out throughout the book, trusting that the process of self-improvement will lead to a more fulfilling, purposeful, and successful life. It encourages them to believe in their own potential, take charge of their destiny, and begin their journey toward the life they truly desire. Ultimately, the conclusion reinforces that by committing to their personal growth and embracing the process of improvement, individuals can unlock the full power within themselves and create a life of meaning, accomplishment, and joy.